Hello and welcome to Dan's Deli's Cheese Tasting. I'm your host, Dan's Deli, and you are now here live at Voley Farm with me. We're going to run our way through 10 cheeses, well actually 9 cheeses. We're going to be handing over to Kerry on number 3. She's going to talk us through her new cheese, the Avebury. So how's everyone doing? Let's see. Hey Kevin Summerfield, Broadtown Brewery, he's on it. Hey Ellie, hey Sally, Diane, Bryony, Tom, Ashway, Dan Fry, Sally. How's everyone doing? Have we had a good week, tragic week, or it's going to get better week? Work tomorrow, but for tonight you're with me. So first of all, we're going to go for a few shout-outs. So first of all, we're going to do a shout-out for the Applins. So Charlotte and Mark Newbies. So Charlotte and Mark Simpkins, how we doing? Welcome. Hallie and Steve Kinson, thank you for being fab neighbours. That's from Courtney and Tom. Caroline Thomas, Chris and Carol Newbies, how we doing people? And then we've got shout outs to Steve Pegler for introducing Lara Wilson to the Dan's Deli Cheese Tasting. Happy birthday to Graham. Welcome Graham and Sharon, another pair of newbies. How we doing people? Gemma, happy birthday to Andy C. Happy birthday, Andy. And then we've got a happy birthday to Chantel from Alan. Suzanne says, hi Bev, sister-in-law down from the north, participating I hope. And then we've got a happy birthday to Emily Weston, who had her birthday on Friday, just gone. And I've even been told about an Emily Fest that was all over Instagram. So, yes, we've all had a busy week. So, because of so many new people joining us this week, I thought we'd first go through what we've been through in previous cheese tastings, which is tasting cheese. So, first of all, we go for the look. So, when you're looking at a cheese, is it hard? Is it soft? Is it textured? We're checking out the rind, any moulds growing, things like that. And so that's on your first appearance. And then next, as I did, we go to the feel. Is it soft, hard, gritty? And then often we're advised to let a small piece sit on our tongue and melt. And as they often say with cheese, smaller is better, especially when trying a new cheese. And then, is it a mover, groover? As I said with Kerry's, it's very soft, went up to room temperature, super, super soft, so it's a mover. Or is it like a cheddar, super firm, super hard? And if it's been in a tight wrap packet from a deli or supermarket, we need to get it out and let it breathe, and looking at it and feeling it will let us know. Third, we come on to the smell. So the smell of a cheese can give a lot away. It might not give a lot away, because often the smellier cheeses can be more subtle flavours. I sometimes don't agree with this, as many of you will know from my previous tastings where I've done the Munster. We've done some other cheeses that I wasn't such a fan of, like the Telaggio. But some people love it. That's why we do it. So, but often those really stinky ones, like a Tramp's Belly Button, the ones, they're often milder. And then we go on to this. We go on to the taste. And as I said, less is more on the tongue. I mean, I even heard a fact from QI that said the best way to taste cheese was grated, because you've got more surface area. So you're letting it melt on your tongue in the first instance. Do you get beef broth? Do you get caramelized onion? Do you get coriferous vegetables? These are all things to be aware of. But as we know, I don't take myself too seriously on this cheese tasting. And with it being the 7th, we're going to dig on in. And number 1... we should all have is this fantastic, actually, I've jumped ahead of myself. Tonight I am drinking Jamestown IPA. So this is a New England IPA, and this was given to me by Nick McCann. So I will be tasting this beverage throughout. And I've also got some handy news regarding beers to be paired with cheese in the next tasting, but we'll get on to that soon in the future. So as I was saying, the first cheese is a vintage double Gloucester, And this is from the Inglewood Dairy up in Preston. So I chose this because, as I did with the Red Fox, the vintage Red Fox, I like to bring real cheeses back onto the cheese board, back onto the table. And I feel that Double Gloucester is another one of those that I regard as a plastic cheese found in supermarkets that just got a bit of food colour dye in them. So we're going to go deep, we're going to go hard, people, straight in. I would say that's got a little bit of tang on the end. I like that. I'd say it's about just over the medium. Let me get your comments back. Always something when we're doing it live. Hey Bridget, hey Tom. Preston lockdown cheese. Number one winning so far, says Hugh. Tiny Rebel Tropica for me, Martin Hills. Was it me that introduced you to that bad boy? I took it round for a steak evening with Gaz and Neil, and they referred to it as a lilt, but I love it. Hoppy and tropical at the same time. I think it's perfect for cheese. Oh, that's a fruity bad boy. Oh, yes. Nitty, I hope you're being nutty, Anne-Marie. Very creamy. Prefer Red Fox. I don't blame you, Kevin Anderson. It's not got as much going on as the Red Fox. But we'll get there. We'll get there. It's not the last Double Gloucester I'm going to bring. I've got a few on the menu to come. Hey, Anna. Loves that one. Agree with Sally. Mild. Really like that. Not too strong, says Carol. Nice with the quince. Thanks for reminding me, Kevin. Has everybody found their Never End Farm butter? So this is from a small dairy in Gloucestershire. So this is artisan butter. And I've included it in your tasting because why not go all the way? Why not go all the way? So if we're going to do this, let's do this hard. Oh, mother-in-law cheese. Mother-in-law cheese, Lucy says. I like it. I like it. People starting to use my catchphrases. Enjoys it. Also loving the fennel biscotti, says Emily. I'm just about to get to there. I'm coming out with the cheddar and fennel biscotti. Do you know, I was given some cumin shortbread from the Andersons, Kevin Anderson. So they've given me a lovely box of cumin shortbreads, and that's from a recipe from an Indian cafe in London. Right, I'm going to go with a bit of the vintage Gloucester and a bit of the quince. How good is that butter? Super creamy. I do like my butter with a bit of salt, so if anybody doesn't, they do an unsalted version. But that is super yummy with the combination. Will and Helen also made me some garden blackberry and apple chutney. And I'd like to say thank you very much. I did put it out there that any local treats go in. I'm always partial. Very mild. The butter is lovely, creamy and not over salted. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Dave. The butter is gorgeous. Quince is good on the biscotti. Thank you, Suzanne. Whoa, it's hot up the farm. Right, so moving along to number 2. So number 2 is Old Timer, OWD Timer. So I was asked by a customer for a cheddar that would give them ulcers. So along the Black Bomber, but further. So matured for 18 months to 2 years. This bad boy is, and this is a Lancashire cheese. So we're going to go in. I'm going to go straight in. Thank you, Tasha. Wow. So it's a little bit gritty. As we've discussed before, that's the amino acids, the calcification. Wow. That is a strong, strong cheddar. What do we think of that? Indeed, Martin. Why not? You get it all. So I'm going to go on to a bit on the, because that was such a strong cheese. Wow. It would give you ulcers, Mickey. I agree. Wow. I think that's the strongest burny cheese I've had. So I'm going to go for a bit of quince with that. Taste burnt. I agree, Hugh. But I'm going to go with a bit of quince and see if it levels that bad boy out. So what do you all think of the setup? Do you like having the timer with my new logos? Well, it's not a new logo, but it's certainly a new effect. What do we think of that, people? I've tried everything. I'm not a fan, people. See, I'm trying not to do what I've done before with the Munster. Oh, if you'd heard the reviews that I read about this. But it looks good in the wax. Yeah, I get almost a burnt plastic taste towards the end. Does anybody else get that? Oh, thank you, Anne-Marie. Ez is doing her best. The director's still on board. So some people like it, but literally if a bit's in my gum, it's burning. Bottoms up. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. I might tail that off with a bit of double Gloucester just to ease my gums. I agree, Ali. The quince helped. I've got all the production team laughing at me here. The quince helped, but Paul Woodward, it's not that strong onto my third piece. Thumbs up from the other half. That's good. Yeah, defo a burnt taste, not keen. I agree, Emily. Nicer with the quince. Yep, I'm getting burnt plastic too. So, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy, and neither are my taste buds. Like a lorry tyre. Brilliant. I like strong cheese, but this is too much. Agreed, Sharon. We done that. You couldn't have done a lot of that. I agree, Mickey. It was, yeah, too much. Martin Hills, yeah. So the next cheese we are going to be going on to is the Avebury from Brinkworth Dairy. So that's a mover and a groover. I'm going to taste it first and then move you on to, with the world of modern technology and my production guys. So fingers crossed it goes well, but I'm just going to taste this first. Well, first one, I'm getting a classic French profile. I would liken it to a camembert, but fresher. And by far my favourite cheese so far. But having said that, let's go over to Kerry for a few minutes over in Brinkworth Dairy.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Am I here? Can you hear me? Oh, brilliant. Hi, Dan. Hi, everyone. I'm Kerry from Brinkworth Dairy. We have a farm in Brinkworth. We make our cheese on the farm. So we use the milk really fresh. It's not cooled before we're using it. It goes straight to the pasteurizer, and then we can turn it into our cheeses. My great-grandfather made cheese on this farm in 1910, and then in 2005, I started making cheese here myself. We make a Wiltshire loaf. Oh, hello, Carol. Hello, Charlotte. We make a Wiltshire loaf, which is a hard cheese. We make 2 blue cheeses, Royal Basset Blue and Brinkworth Blue. So for years, people have been crying out for a brie. We needed to make a brie. And finally, during lockdown, we managed to develop our brie. And because we live close to my favourite henge in Wiltshire, which is Avebury, we named our brie Avebury. That's a little pun for you. But in fact, this cheese is more similar to a camembert. The difference between a brie and a camembert is mainly the size. And a brie is a large flat cheese that's very creamy, and a camembert tends to be one that's smaller and has much more intense flavours. And when I developed this cheese, I want it to be one that's going to win massive awards. So I want it to be really exciting flavoured cheeses. Hello, Nike. Hello, Lizzie. You've just tasted a really strong cheese. So I would strongly recommend that you get an apple or some water to cleanse your palate, to allow your palate to refresh so that you can taste this cheese. Just like Dan said, you need to look at the cheese and what can you see on the outside rind. I've brought 2 here for me to taste. One that's younger and has got that fluffy white rind, and that comes from the Geotrichum candidum mould that I add to it. And I've also brought a more mature, exciting one for me to taste as well. Lots of flavour. This cheese would go very well with pesto or apricots and almonds and crusty bread. So you've got the contrast of the soft, creamy, oozy cheese and then the texture, the crunch from the bread. And drinks-wise, Camembert comes from Normandy, where they have apples and make cider, so it would go really well with cider or Pilsner. Dry white wines are very good because the acidity cuts through the fat. And I think the best drink to have with this, guys, let's celebrate my favourite drink. Let's crack open the bubbly and have some champagne or some sparkling rosé wine. I think that would be great. When you cut your soft cheese, you're meant to use either a spreading knife because it's so soft, or if you've got those fancy knives with the holes in, they're good because then it stops it sticking to it. So you've seen the cheese, then you need to sniff the cheese. I get quite a lot of mushrooms coming through on that, and there's quite an umami smell coming from the rind, and almost truffles as well. Have a look at your cheese. You can see that it's very soft and oozy. That's right, Will, just oozy, just inside the rind. And then almost like a fluffy mousse-like texture in the centre. And if you give your cheeses a squeeze when you're tasting them, that helps get you to judge the texture, but it'll also help to warm it up a little bit more. I hope you all got your cheese boards out an hour before the tasting to bring them up to room temperature. But if you didn't, don't worry, squeeze it and that'll bring it up to temperature and you can get a good taste. The centre of the cheese is going to taste different from the edge, so you can taste those separately to get the different flavours. Oh, all gone, Mary! Oh my goodness, we'll have to get you some more from Dan's Deli next time. Okay. So it's quite fresh and clean, quite citrusy coming through there. It's very well balanced. Oh, you've eaten it all as well. Good. Easily done. I'm going to have a little bit more of that too. I just wish I'd thought ahead and got the champagne out as well and could have told you for sure how that pairs. Oh, thank you, Paul. Mind you, Paul, I don't know if I trust your taste judge buds, because didn't you like number 2 as well? Oh, Lucy, thank you. Thank you. Lovely, yeah. Brilliant. So to make this cheese, I use lots and lots of different cultures. I could have made a very simple cheese, but I just decided to make it quite complex. I've got 2 different starter cultures. 3 different ripening cultures, and also a couple that I add in there that are just to give those brassica flavours, to get that more complex flavour coming through. And we're really excited by this cheese, and we're thrilled to be able to launch it with Deli Dan tonight on his inaugural YouTube Fancy Pants Studio broadcast. That was brilliant. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Thanks, Dan. That's great. And we are, what does Sharon say? Oh, Sharon's eaten it all as well. Lovely. What did you guys put it with? What were you drinking it with? Does it, because I haven't got any alcohol here myself, so did you have it with some white wine? You ate it quickly, yeah, because it's good. If you have it with red wine, that can overpower it, so I wouldn't recommend putting in red wine with it. Thank you, my scrummy brie. Thank you, Natalie. Yeah, Anna, I think you are all going to have to do a lot of walking after tonight, but don't blame it all on Avebury. You've got a few more cheeses to go yet. Gin, yes. Oh, I wonder which gin especially goes with it. I've done gin tastings with my other cheeses, the Wiltshire Loaf, the Brinkworth Blue, the Royal Basset Blue, but I haven't done a gin tasting with the Avebury yet to find out what that goes well with. With rhubarb? With rhubarb? Well, I suppose that could work quite well. Like I said, the apricots would go with it, that fruitiness to go with the citrusy flavours. That's going to go well. Yes, English white wine, great idea. Well, there's a lot in the terroir, the linking of the soil, the pastures, the grass, the cheese, and the soil that's also growing the grapes. So linking together where the cheese is made and a wine being made in the same region. So maybe the English white wine would be good. There's some great English sparkling wines out there as well. There's a new vineyard, I think it's called Bluestone Vineyard, in mid-Wiltshire. I'd be excited to pair this one with a Shiraz. Oh, hello, Rachel. Tanqueray gin. Yeah, great idea. Well, I was going to give you a little tour of the dairy. Are we up for that? If I see a thumbs up from Deli Dan, I'll give you a little tour of the dairy. He gives me a thumbs up. I'm running to my ripening rooms, and you can see some gorgeous Wiltshire loaves ripening. It's going to go dark for a little bit. Don't be alarmed. I forgot to plan ahead and turn on all the lights. Did you guys used to watch Challenge Annika? Anybody young enough for Challenge Annika? That's Kerry tonight running through. Getting some lights there. Made on the 2nd of June. And I've got some experimental cheeses over there. Dan, you'll have to try these. These have been ripening for 2 years, look.
Hey people, so what do we all think of that? So, Kerry, thank you so much for taking us round the dairy and introducing us to your new Avebury cheese. I think it's super yummy. Seen everybody's comments going on about how much they loved it. Unfortunately, with those big fridges and their insulated walls, it could have happened. It did happen. We got a little bit of badness, but we've got a bit of picture-in-picture. Am I on, guys? Because I'm on. So our first little stumble, but we're over it. So I think that was definitely the best cheese so far. What do you guys think? I think it's just on the side of funky that I love. It's got that coriferous vegetable, kind of broccoli, Brussels sprouts. It's creamy, it's oozy. You've got that kind of firmish centre, but with the outside oozing away. Much like the Royale Truffle Brie that we've had lots of times before. So I've gone through 2 pieces of that. So Charlotte Sim, Caroline Thomas, Kerry's the best yet. Brilliant. Definitely the best so far. Brilliant. Mark needs more gin. Mark, gin. Hey Mary, hey Mark. We were talking about you before. So now that we're back, I was just going to give a couple of minutes to our location. So today we are filming, as you all know, from Voley. So just at the edge of Royal Wootton Bassett, we are in the absolute beautiful location. So we've got rolling fields, sort of event ground looking. We've got a beautiful event room, wedding room. I mean, you really need to see it, people. But afterwards, we'll give you the contact details and you will all be able to, if you like, for birthdays, weddings, conferences, business meetings, give Karen and Charlie a shout and they'll sort you out. And I know somebody, a little deli man, that could do your catering. So let us know, people. And it's the least we could do. Charlie and Karen really have gone above and beyond for us here at Voley. And I can't thank them enough. And they are in their house doing a little cheese tasting with us as well. So moving on to number 4 now, guys. We have the Cornish Yard with a bit of difference. So this is the one that I was on about, a seasonal one wrapped in wild garlic leaves. So let's get on and taste this. So I'm expecting this to be lactic / milky, creamy. With a very mild garlic. Last 2, not for us. Respect that, Martin. But there are good ones coming. So big shout out to Ali Gardner. Her grandson hits the big 1 tomorrow. 1, that first mile in life. Is he eating cheese yet? That's what we want to know. Bit of cheddar, bit of brie. Righty-ho. So, what do we think of the wild garlic yard? Very mild, I agree. This is a more nuanced cheese. It's a bit complex. When I say complex, the flavours are more subtle. It's really one of those, a smaller bite. Let it melt in there, get all the flavours. Now, the little nibblers threw this one out. They said it was too bland. But I think, I like it, but it's a mother-in-law, isn't it? It's definitely a mother-in-law. This is a cheese put down on the cheese board. She's not going to go, it's too this, it's too that, it smells. But she's going to think she's trying an artisan cheese because it's got a bit of green around the outside. I think it's a nice cheese. Mary Valentine, we buy it and like it. Goes well with the quince. I'm just about to go there, Hannah. Chris Shepherd loves the hint of garlic by the rind. Absolutely. Oh, Voley's in on it too. Charlie's not going to get a taste of this one. Emily Weston really enjoyed it. So this is definitely a 50-50 cheese, I think. I think some people, you know, it's separating people because some people feel there's not enough there to taste. Some people love it. So I think all in all, a thumbs up, a new cheese. Can I eat the rind, says Sean. Yes, you can, Sean. You can eat the rind with this one. You can eat the rind with most cheeses. The only 2 rinds I stay away from personally are, of course, the wax rinds for obvious reasons, unless you're into kinky stuff. And then the second ones are the really aged, washed rinds. Excuse me. So they're the ones that they've been handled for a couple of years. They've been rubbed down. Most people will eat them that like those kind of cheeses. I personally stay away from them. I tend to find too much of that funkiness in the rind. Tramp's belly button. You know where I'm going, people. Really like this one. Fan here says strawberry pie, subtle but tasty. Thank you, Mrs. Coombs. Wouldn't get out of my pram about it, but it liked the slight garlicky aftertaste. I like it, but would prefer more garlic. Wow, you're in for a treat on the next tasting. I have got a cheese coming, which is, I would say, this on steroids. So imagine this, but we're up our level. Righty-ho. So now we are going on to red hot chili. So after a request for a chili cheese, I did order Red Devil. Unfortunately, the stocks were low, so I went for the next best one, which was from the Inglewood Dairy, and this is the Red Hot Chili Vintage Double Gloucester. So I'm going to go in. I'm not a big fan of chili, but I'm told this won't blow your head off. I agree, Lisa. Yes, Tom, you were considered and thought about. Yes, Dan. Yard quince and fennel biscotti, job done. I like it. Mixing it up a bit. I've said before, I find with artisan cheeses, if you mix it up with olives, wine, beer, sweet, salty, sour, you literally can change the taste and the profile of the cheese. It really does benefit. Like if you've got a really nice blue in, like the Brinkworth Blue, the Cropwell Bishop, get yourself some really nice olives, mix it up with a nice white or a nice tannin red even, or even a bit of port. So if you mix those up, you're going to get really different flavours and profiles, and that really does mix it up. It's a little kick, I agree. Oh, brilliant, Suzanne. So Suzanne's saying she can taste the garlic in the yard, and she says it smells like a walk through Jubilee Lake Woods, which I love. And that takes me back to when I first met the director, walking around Selkirk in Scotland on our first time away, and wild garlic was in season, and it stank of it, and I was a little bit worse for wear. So, you know, they say smell is the biggest emotion or evoker of memories. Yeah. I'll agree with you on that one. Too spicy for me, but I am such a win with chili. Emily, I am, and I'm just coping with this one. It's a mild kick, I think, but I'm kind of at the sweet chili level. Martin, you are a cruel man making Lucy try it, but does she like it? Not a big lover of the chili cheese. Spot on with the fennel biscotti and some salty butter, says Tom. Charlie's loving the chili. So we got some winners there, definitely. I'm going to go in, since I've been told to, with some biscotti and some quince. Oh, and a bit of the salty butter. So all of these cheeses, the butter, the quince, the biscotti, will all be available at the deli. Some of them will be available for pickup straight away. Some of them will be Friday delivery. Pop me a message. We'll sort it out. We'll get it all in a nice little bag. If I can get it delivered to you, we will do. But otherwise, it'll be waiting at the deli whenever you pass him. Help if I get a bit of cheese on there. That's a winner all day with me. I like it. I understand why chili lovers don't, but people are really loving it. The piccalilli is ordered, Trudy. It's on its way. I promise. Rachel, number 5 is better than I expected. Not too spicy and good with the fennel biscotti. Chris Shepherd, lovely creamy cheese with the chili. Very nice. Luckily, the other half not so keen. See, guys, girls, get a bit of chili in there. The other half, it's all yours. All yours. All right. So next, we are moving on to number 5, which is the Montgomery. Sorry, number 6. God, when do I not do it? Number 6 is the Montgomery. So this is a Somerset cheese. It's a cheddar, but this is definitely taken a step further. So some of it will have veins of blue in. This does happen, and it's part of the makeup of the Montgomery. So I'm going to go in straight away. Thank you, Kevin. Understood. Right. Stop the tasting. Mrs. Anderson, your shortbreads are a delight. You're in the wrong job. You should be making those for a living. They are spectacular. So, Sean, yeah, we do a list. We do a list of the cheeses, ingredients, generally milk, and a few other bits. But yeah, we do a list. That will be on the Dan's Deli page as of tomorrow, where you can go through all the cheeses, remember what we've tried, and then you can order them from me. So what do we think of the Montgomery? Claire Brettle, yum, loving the Montgomery. Dan fried, number 5, no burn. Reminds me of a strong Edam, says Anne-Marie. Kevin Summerfield, number 7 is lovely. I thought we were on number 6, Kevin. Right, I'm going to go in again. I get where you're going with the Edam. I almost think this is England's answer to the Comté. I bet there's a lot of similarity between the way these are made. Love that one. Not sure about that one. Cara is still awake and loving the Montgomery. Good. Start them young. We don't have an age limit at the deli. Very salty. It does have a bit salty. So savoury. I thought you'd like it, Tom. Similar to the Comté, in my opinion. Number 6 is great with quince. That's where we're going next, people. Shouldn't really whistle, should I? It's not very professional of me when we've got this set up. Lizzie Baker, bit too salty for me. Lucy Carson, very salty. Better with the quince, I agree. Absolutely. So the next cheese we're going on to is the Lincolnshire Poacher. Have we got a close-up of that? Brilliant. Righty-ho. So this has quite a tough rind. Appearance almost like a cheddar. 2 seconds, people. Can we go to the close-up? Just pop up. And we're back. Sorry about that, people. Little technical hitch, but we are back and we are on number 7, the vintage Lancaster Poacher. So this was started in 1992 by a 4th generation farmer, Simon, and since they hired their cheesemaker, he has continued to make it, and it's a very, very popular cheese. It started off purely local in the Lancaster area, but it's now a full-on national cheese, dare I say international, as a lot of our cheeses via Amazon go all around the world. I didn't even get to try it. So the rind's a bit old tough. This was a hard one to cut, people. Hey Rachel. Hey Amy. So, apparently you can get vintage Poacher in the supermarket. Oh, I didn't know that. Not sure if you can get this one, but we'll go with that. It reminds me of a cheese. It will come to me. I want to say it has a texture. Do you know what? The texture and even the rind is very, very similar to Comté. Very similar to Comté, but it has a very different taste. So let me know what we're thinking, people. Hi, Charlotte. Both the cheddar and the Poacher are fantastic with Merlot, says Kevin Anderson. Wow, thank you for letting us know. Neil Applin loves number 7. Neil, your taste buds, I can't work them out. Sharon is a fan. Only in Waitrose, Dan, not Asda. Oh, I forget. Sorry, people. It's not too bad. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to run off camera for you there, guys, but we are back. Nothing can stop the Deli Dan. Nothing. Nothing. Right. So, drum roll, please. So, we've been building up to this one for quite a while. As you'll have noticed, people, in your pack was a whole truckle of blooming white. So have we all got that in front of us? Suzanne Henderson's on the fence about this one. Like a Gruyere. Thank you, Tanith. That's exactly the cheese I was thinking of. I couldn't get it. It's like a Swiss cheese, like the holy ones you get. Mickey Squiggle, phew. Number 7 is a favourite in the Coles household. Thank you, Suzanne. Loving that, Dan, says Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. So this is by far, I must admit, I've tried before. One of my favourites, by far, the Blooming White from Shepherd's Purse up in Yorkshire. So Caroline has been absolutely amazing. During the lockdown, we had a real problem with getting hold of the Blooming Whites that I wanted to bring to you guys. And now what Caroline did was during the 4th or 5th week of lockdown, she put these in the hoops and she put them aside in the ripening room, and they were purely for Dan's Deli cheese tasting. And so a big, big thank you to Caroline and Katie and everybody else over at Shepherd's Purse who's enabled us to be able to have this cheese for this tasting and have up to 180 grams of it per person. Oh my geez. So what I love about this cheese is you don't really have any blue veins. It's very, very similar to a brie, but you have almost a Stiltony blue taste coming through. Ripened just for us, and isn't it fantastic? Amazing, Suzanne Henderson. Us Northerners are good like that. Agreed, Courtney. That's beautiful. Only the best from Yorkshire, says Christine. Amazing. That's a winner so far. This is amazing. Really liking the Shepherd's Purse. Like the flavour, but very dry. Jury is out. Like this one. It's super salty. It's super refined. It's got that grey bloom rind So this, within the first 28 days of its life, would have had that beautiful white mottled rind, much like Kerry's Avebury. But what they've done is they've allowed it to go on and those mould spores to go grey and grow. And we've got that tang going on inside that's just beautiful. I absolutely love this one. So I'm going to go for some quince and a biscuit because it is so rich. That sweetness will just break it up that little bit. And I'm only going to go for a smidge of butter because we don't need much more salt going on with this guy. What have we got? Melts in the mouth, very smooth but with a tang. Definitely on our list to buy in the future. So good, says Steve. Will's loving it. Claire's loving it. Do you eat the grey rind too? Smell like we. Right, Charlotte, you are welcome to eat it. I'm eating it. I'm still alive. But if you want to cut it off, go for it. Some people, when they get cheeses like this, they'll let them go gooey. And what they'll do is they'll just take the top off. So you just take the top off. And then they'll scoop out the insides with a spoon or a cheese knife. And then they'll get that onto their biscuits with their grapes, celery, chutney, what have you. I'm absolutely in love with this one. Karen Massey, that's equal first with the Avebury. It's lush. Yes to this. Love the saltiness, says Emily Weston. Big hearts, smiley heart face emoji thing. Beautiful texture. I agree, Mandy. I kind of want to do the rest of the 20 minutes just on this cheese because I know I'm on to a winner. Right. I love it. Really love it. So, guys, definitely worth the wait, says Claire. Thank you, Claire. And as I say, big shout out to Caroline, Katie and everyone at Shepherd's Purse. We really did hit a home run with this one. This was put on the side for us, I think it was 8 weeks ago, and it has just been there. 110 of them sat there. I didn't have 110 delivered because we didn't quite get to the 110, but we definitely had 100 of them. So big thank you to everyone. Our favourite so far, completely different flavour with the quince. Exactly what I was saying. Change it up, salt, sweet, sour. Even an olive, literally an olive will change it completely. I feel like that was a good recovery. Agreed, Elizabeth. I'm going to thank them from all the fans, Mickey. Definitely. Tastes much better than it smells. Yum, yum, says Neil. Shepherd's Purse, that is. Absolutely. Amazing with the quince. Definitely our favourite so far. We will have one of those extras. No problem. They are at the deli. It's a fantastic cheese, but also they do a whole range of cheeses and they are absolutely amazing. They do a Yorkshire Blue for all you blue lovers that's super tangy, but really rich and creamy. We've tried the Mrs. Bell's Blue as well, which was a used cheese, a blue used cheese. They do some really, really fantastic cheeses and they mix it up with the used cheese as well. They do a couple or a few used cheese. So definitely one to be going on to. So next is the French Haut-Bourgogne. Our 10-year-old is on round 3, 4 and 5 of the chili cheese. Wow. Stuart Parsons. The 10-year-old is going in on the chili cheese. Love it. So, as always, we've included at least one proper blue. So this is a French one. From the look of it, it's almost like a dolce. And I would say it's quite mild in smell, people. So the only one of these I'd ever tried before was the Blooming White. As always, I like to taste these with you guys. Oh, we're carrying on with the salt. Guys, can you remember the fromage d'Ambert we had? I showed you, it came in a tall cylinder. Very, very similar. I like that. It's not too tangy. I think you could encourage quite a lot of people that don't like blues, definitely like Dolce, which I don't like anymore, but this is nice. Hey, Mickey. It's what I say. I encourage everybody to try these cheeses just the once, and then hats off if you try it once and you don't like it. I'm all up for that. But I think this is definitely worth a try. It's quite bouncy, quite shiny, but I think it's worth it. I really like this. It's a bit of a tang at the end, but not too crazy. The rind's beautiful too. Very creamy. Tom Myers, no, no, no. Hugh, stop the sick faces. I included this one just for you because I knew how much you loved it. Tom's gipping. Gulping. Oh, have we got a retcher? That's what you get for making me try the smelly ones, people. Which Dan's Cheesemare will be featuring soon. Mild Rockfall, says Mary Valentine. I agree completely. I agree. I think if you let this age a bit more, dry out, take some of the moisture out of there, dehydrate, you'd have that crumbly Roquefort you could put all over a poached walnut and a poached pear and candied walnut salad, rocket leaves, balsamic dressing. That would be beautiful. Very, very salty, but lovely with the quince. We're going to have to do it again. I tell you, the people at the wholesalers think I've got something going on with this quince. We've been through almost 600 packets of quince since we started the cheese tasting. I want to know if there's a deli out there that's gone through more. If not, Dan's Deli did it first, the best, and the original. Dave Graham Fowl, Elizabeth, yeah. Anne-Marie saved me. Tried with the quince. It's lovely. Mmm. Well, well, well. So Martin Hills, a blue cheese lover since the first time trying on the cheese tasting night. Respect, my man. Sharon, you tell Kevin to get that down his chops. And happy, happy anniversary. So Kevin and Sharon Summerfield are celebrating their 38th wedding anniversary. Shoot me if I've got that wrong. But a big shout out to my big man friend Kevin and his beautiful wife Sharon, who works at the 999 call centre. So big thank you, and here's to you guys on your 38th wedding anniversary. Enjoy. The cheese tasting was a bit of a surprise for Kevin, but thank you for coming and joining me for all the others. Good with the quince, knocks down the saltiness. Absolutely, that rich sweetiness sorts it out, doesn't it? Puts it on a level keel. So we are fast approaching and on our final cheese, people. So we're at just over the hour mark. So this cheese is the Bouncing Berry from Snowdonia, especially for Kobe and the Carsons. So I've decided to go back in on the dessert cheeses. Lucy Carson, everyone saying happy anniversary. Everybody wish Kevin and Sharon happy anniversary. Go on. Bit of community spirit going on there. Love it. So I got this in to start doing the dessert cheeses, and I'll tell you a little story why. So I ordered and was told was coming and dispatched the honey goat's cheese, which is another one of the cheeses that I've wanted to have on the tasting since the first tasting. And I truly, honestly, I was told everything. I was told that it would be here on Friday, and they didn't turn up. So as a second, they sent the Bouncing Berry from the Snowdonia dairy over in Wales, which, as we've discussed before, is a collection of farmers, quite a large collection that I didn't know was. And they all got together, they all send their milk in, get these cheeses made. So I decided to feature this, and we're going to do the end one as a dessert cheese each time. So this is your, I like to say, it's Black Bomber, but with cranberries running through. And as you can see, people, you're not going to be able to have a piece of this without a cranberry. And for anybody asking, just to head them off, no, you can't eat this rind. This is a full wax rind. Lucy is gutted now you said that. Delish. That's lovely. Right, so we've got people enjoying it so far. I know there's a few of you that don't like fruit in your cheese, but I do cater to everyone on these tastings. Rachel, the mythical honey goat's cheese is on its way. My beautiful director has called one of the wholesalers a very unsavoury word, shall we say. This is going in Kobe's packed lunch tomorrow. Well, I did include enough. Brilliant. Is Kobe up? Is he trying cheese, Lucy? Is he doing the nibblers? I think he is. Oh, yes. Kobe's nanny is also a fan. Hey, Kobe's nanny. How we doing? That's lovely, very fruity, nice. Normally, I'm not sure about fruit cheese, but this is lush. Do you know what? I'm exactly the same. Normally, I hate fruit in cheese, but I would say about 2 Christmases ago, I tried this for the first time, and it's just right. The salty and the sweet, it just works. Sharon Anthony Holloway, I love a bit of fruit in my cheese, but usually the cheese is so bland. This is perfect. Not keen on cranberries, says Courtney, but this is pretty nice. Not as nice as last dessert cheese we had a while back, though. I'm going to presume you're on about the sticky toffee one. Now, for this cheese tasting, I said I wouldn't repeat any cheeses, and I'm not going to repeat any cheeses for a good while. But in the 8 to 9 weeks running up to Christmas, I'm going to be featuring every single cheese in the deli that's available on the cheese order form. So that means that you literally, if you get in on the last 3 tastings of the year, there's going to be cheese comas, there's going to be cheese sweats, there's going to be there's going to be cheese, just cheese, lots of it, cheese. Sticky toffee was amazing, tasted like a Christmas pud. Well, that one will feature in one of the Christmas cheese tastings. Which one? Wow, if you tune into all 3, you will find out. So people, we've come to round about the end, but after all of the cheeses, I'd like to know, what was your favourite? What was unexpected? What was the worst? Let me know, people. Mickey Squickle, oh yes, roll on Christmas. I am looking forward to Christmas so much. I don't know about you guys, but I feel we need something. We need something to cheer about, to be happy about, and I think Christmas is going to bring it, people. So fingers crossed everything keeps going the way it's going, and we'll all be seeing each other properly for Christmas. Ellie Gilmore, oh, she's sticking her neck out. She likes the sticky toffee, and she doesn't care if she's alone on it. I would say, Ellie, that was a 50-50 one. I'd like to give a big shout out to the Carson's nanny, who's come all the way over from Dubai. So hello, Nanny Carson, and how are you liking my cheese tasting? I hope I'm not on the big telly. I hope it stayed in one piece, and I hope you like the cheese. So Lucy liked the garlic, says Martin. Avebury was the favourite for Rachel. Brilliant selection today. Loved the blooming white. Yarg. And totally surprised to love the blue number 9, says Emily. Defo, but it tasted amazing. The sticky toffee. Yorkshire lass here. Shepherd's Purse, says Steve Kinson. Suzanne Henderson is on the Avebury and blooming by far. Blooming white, the best of the night, says Neil. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Rach. Number 3 is the best for me. Husband liked the chilli one. So that's an Avebury and the chilli double Gloucester. I mean, it's lovely. Everybody's got such a wide choice for top and worst. I'm personally going for this as the worst. So if anybody really, really liked it, I'm going to be doing massive bits at a loss to me. Because I don't want it. It smells of burnt plastic. It smells... What? It's a family show. I nearly got there, people. I nearly got there. Number 2 and the Yard were good too. Sally, this was number 2. Right, we're not going there. Remind me not to pick that one up again. So Stuart Parsons got a new TV. Oh, well, 55 inches of Deli down in the living room. I told you not to tell me that. Rachel Williams, Blooming White and Avebury as joint winners for us, but the Yarg is a favourite too. So the garlic Yarg definitely has some fans here. First tasting, fantastic, thank you. Well, you are most welcome, Caroline Burns. And I hope you will join me for my next one in 3 weeks' time. We are taking bookings now. We have also got the charcuterie tasting in 2 weeks' time. So in 2 weeks' time, we are going to be tasting our way through 36 slices of Treely Farm Delights. So James Swift over at Treely Farm, he makes the most amazing charcuterie made from only traditional breeds like the Saddleback, the Gloucester Old Spot, the protected Welsh Mountain Black Sheep. We've also got the Welsh Black Cattle. And I'd like to say a big, big thank you to Kerry from Brinkworth Dairy for helping me out with this huge, massive first step into a better live production. As you all know, I started in my little deli with my wife pointing a camera phone at me. And that was, as amazing as that was and the support you guys showed, I never for 1 second thought we'd be here. As you can see, I've occasionally had a little bit of a sweat on due to massive lighting and all these cameras. I've got a big old telly behind me projecting my new style logo as well as the formal old one as well. The burnt plastic was not good and the double Gloucester was decidedly ordinary. Thank you, Dave. Sharon Summerfield and the Yarg, of course. Let's go. Number 1, 3 and 6 for Kev and the Yarg. We've got Garlic Yarg and the Blooming White are the favourites of tonight from Hannah Fry. Shay Smith. I like the double Gloucester, the Garlic Yarg, both next level. Number 2, nope. Agreed. Like it, Shay. And then we've got nope. That one towards the end with the hazelnut tones was lovely too. Preferred the subtle ones tonight. Fantastic. Love it. Thanks as always, Dan. Fab cheese tasting again. Look forward to the next. Excellent cheese tasting evening. Many thanks to Dan and the team. That's it, guys. You have to now thank a team, not just me. But as we move on, if you thank me, I will thank the team afterwards. You know, I'll give them a pat on the back. Thanks, people. Thanks, guys. See, there is other people here. This isn't me. I'm not pulling any strings underneath. Love the double Gloucester, says Elizabeth. Avebury for Mary Valentine. What does Mark think, or has he had too much gin? Well, they were calling for extra gin halfway. 2, 3 and 8 for hubby. Really, number 2? Wow, people like that. Hubby and I had a different top 3. Mine was 3, 8 and 9, all top. Hubby was 3, 9 and 2. There's quite a few people liking the old timer. Thank you to the whole team. Thank you, Dan and team. Great night as always. Cracking setup. Thank you so much, Lucy Carson. Thank you so much to the guys behind the scenes, to the director, my wife, and to Stutter Sis, who is in the other room. She's getting ready for next week's Little Nibblers. So if you've got a younger one that likes cheese, or if they don't like cheese and you think they might do, pop me a message, we'll sort that out. So from me, the team, and everyone at Dan's Deli, thank you so much. And remember, if you can't be good, be delicious.